Building works on the seminary began about 3 years ago. But in fact, I'm in my 6th year, and I've been coming to the building site nearly every month. 2, 3 people from each year would come to the seminary building site. We used to do all sorts of things. The Lviv city authorities gave us 17 hectares of land in 2001. There was supposed to be a Lviv Seminary Center, with a seminary for the Redemptorist Fathers, a seminary for the Studite Fathers, a seminary for the Franciscan Fathers, and of course to include the Ukrainian Catholic University Theological Faculty. There was also to be a pastoral mission center. Gentlemen, we went this way, up this road, and we took pictures from the bridge. We passed this way, like so, and then we saw the hill on which the teaching center is to be built. We are now in the region, about here, and on this, the highest point, the church will stand. Whilst the student hostel, for the seminarians, will be on that slope.
Прийди за спокій озлоблених життєвими незгодами, прийди, змягчи серця в день закам'янілості і гніву, прийди, оживи мене з духовної мертвоти, прийди, звільни мене від духа жорстокості і безмилосердя, прийди, сокруши хитрощі, бунту і острах від вогні.
We started putting up this building in July 2002. Of course, the greater part, 90-odd% of the costs of building the seminary, were covered by aid to the church in need. The history of cooperation between our seminary and aid to the church in need goes back a long way. As soon as our previous cardinal, Mirosław Ivan Lubachevsky, returned to Ukraine, Father wherein Franz Straten came with him at the same time, and that was the moment he promised he would help build the seminary. The seminary has existed for 222 years. And this, I believe, is the seminary's third site. The first was in the center of the city at one time, but was taken away from us in 1945.
The Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church was the biggest illegal church in the world for much of the 20th century, and which was the biggest community of social opposition within the Soviet Union.
This church was condemned to be annihilated, officially non-existent, working in the outback, in hiding. My name is Father Bogusław. I studied at the underground seminary. Studying at the seminary was very, how can I put it, very strange. In fact, only the two of us would meet, professor and student. When we left home, we would bid our nearest and dearest farewell, as if we were never to meet them again, because no one knew what the future had in store. Being an underground seminary student carried with it the threat of at best a prison sentence, and at worst, God forbid, a death sentence, or being sent to Siberia. I talked with the sisters, with the bishops, with the priests who worked at that time. What today is becoming reality probably belongs to dreams realized, hidden hopes raised from the underground. It is in a sense the fruit of their labors. Many a time they risked exile, deportation to Siberia, to Kolyma, yet they continued working. And now there are signs of a rebirth, of real development, of a great dynamism. And of course that gives us great hope. Hope for the future of this church, for the future of the Christian Catholic part of Ukraine. When this tremendous eruption of freedom, this explosion of the nations of the Soviet Union took place in '89, the Greek Catholic Church, here in Western Ukraine, was also a part of that process that inspired people to break free from communism. Greek Catholic parishes began to spring up in all sorts of ways. Some priests, who had worked in the Orthodox Church, passed to the Greek Catholic Church. At other times, parishes were initiated by priests who had formerly worked in the catacombs, in the underground. And immediately, the problem of training new priests and the need to build and renew seminaries came to the fore. We had a very, so to speak, temporary situation after 1990, in which they managed to improvise for 15 years. The first year, 1990 to 91, the seminary functioned very haphazardly. Candidates to the priesthood either studied in private homes or in Lviv's church. It was then that the search began for an appropriate building that would ensure the necessary normal conditions for the seminary to function. A decision was rapidly taken, following talks with Lviv city authorities, to hand over buildings just outside Lviv.